I'm going to talk about how to thrive as a social media influencer in ELT and how to have an online presence as a teacher. And I hope you feel inspired to, go online and maybe start a new business or improve your business, okay, as an English teacher. So I will talk about how I started on YouTube, how I maximize my earnings with online courses, why I think you, teachers, should have an online presence too, and also 10 practical steps to stand out on social media. So how I started on YouTube, it was a long time ago. It was 10 years ago. In the screenshot, you will see 9 years ago, but it's going to be 10 years next month. So basically, I decided to record a video because many people would ask me how I learned English, how I had learned English without leaving Brazil. How did you learn English in Brazil? Hence, English in Brazil is the name of my channel. So I would always reply to, my Facebook friends and my students. So how did you learn it? I would tell the same story all the time. So I thought, well, maybe this time I could just record a video, upload this video to my blog, because I used to have a blog in 2011. And then if anybody asks me this question, I'll just share the link and I don't have to explain everything again. But I uploaded the video to YouTube. I didn't even create a new channel. It was my Gmail account. I uploaded the video to YouTube, embedded the video to my blog. And I was very surprised when I noticed that I had reached 1,000 views in only 1 week. And I thought, well, who are these people? They're not my Facebook friends. They're not my students, because I don't have 1,000 students. So I noticed that there was a potential for this content to reach more people, because people were actually interested in what I had to share. So the title of my video was How I Learned English in a Short Period of Time. It's in Portuguese, as you can see, Como turbinei meu inglês em pouco tempo. And I didn't know anything about, titles and thumbnails, but I accidentally created a good title that really caught people's attention. And now this video has over 1 million views, which is funny because this is a very simple video. I had no equipment, but the content is good. So yeah, I think that's what really matters. So it was 10 years ago. And then when my channel started getting a little popular, I was still a little embarrassed of wanting to be a content creator, because 10 years ago, I was studying to get my PhD degree. I was at the university, and the academic world is very serious. So I really was, a little embarrassed to tell my classmates and my professors that I was sharing content on YouTube. And everything changed when I met the right people who were doing the same that I was doing. So here's the first piece of advice for all of you. If you're interested in having an online presence, you have to find other people who have the same interest, people who won't say you're silly because you're going online, who won't, mock you, because some people will do this at the beginning. And then once you get, once you're successful, people say, oh, it's so nice that you've reached 1 million followers. But back in the day, many people would say, you should study and not share videos. So here's my first piece of advice. You should walk with the right people because they will encourage you to keep going. So I just insisted on uploading more and more and more videos. And now I have almost 2 million subscribers. Of course, it's a long way. It was, this happened gradually during 10 years. And lots of things have changed, but this became my profession. I actually I actually chose not to follow my first plan, which was my academic career, because my channel was already too big to be ignored. So I thought, well, maybe I will invest more time here and see if I can really make a living out of this channel, because it was a hobby in the past. And then I could find some brand use, and AdSense was already paying me some money. So I could have this, so I had this opportunity to really invest in my channel. And I'll tell you more about it later, how you can do it too. But then once I had, reached success on YouTube and social media, I thought, okay, I need to do something else, because I don't know if maybe one day YouTube just explodes. I don't want to depend on YouTube forever. So that's why I decided to maximize my earnings with online courses. So the first course I created is English in Brazil. It's a course with content from basic to advanced level. And I mean, there are recorded lessons, private lessons with other teachers, not me, because I can't teach everyone, group lessons with my team. There's exercises, lots of things for students to learn. So this course is, I can say it's a big success here in Brazil, because it's one of the most popular online English courses in the country. And then I noticed that some people didn't want to do this course, take this course, because it's a 200-hour course. It's a very long course. And some people just wanted to learn, English that is enough to, enough to travel and get by. So that's why we created the second course, which is SOS Viagem. So in this course, there's no grammar, no specific, vocabulary, for example, for law or things like that. It's focused on travel and focused on dialogues. And it's a shorter course. And then we created a third course, because some people would finish in the English in Brazil course and wanted to do something more advanced. So we launched the Pronunciation Masters course with my partner, Rodrigo, who's in the picture. In this course, I teach phonetics, phonology, pronunciation, and everything related to what I learned during my PhD and my academic studies. So even though I'm not following the traditional academic path, my knowledge is still there, and I still use this academic knowledge to share content in my courses and my social media. So now I'm not alone. I have this amazing team of teachers. We're still a small team. We're not a huge team, but we do so many things together, and everybody works from home. So we actually have met, I mean, all of us who have met only once in our lives, the day when we took this picture, because everybody works from a different part of the country. So my aim in this talk is not to say, you see, oh my God, I'm so successful, look at me. Of course, I want to inspire you to show you that if you want to do something like I did, of course, it's possible. You can do this, anybody can. But I also want to show you that you don't need 1 million followers to be successful with your business online, with your online business, sorry. Then why I think you should have an online presence? I have some reasons here. You can use the chat box to interact with me as well, because I'm looking at you right now. The first reason is to connect with other people, of course, not only other students, but other teachers. So you have to be online for people to find you and know what you do, right? To make it possible for new students to find you. So imagine, I don't know about your countries, but in Brazil, there are some people who already uses Instagram, the search box, the search tool on Instagram, to look for professionals. For example, oh, I need a dentist, so I'll type dentist on Instagram and see what comes up. So then you click on the profile, you see if you like the work, you see if you like the person, and it's the same for English teachers, okay? It's like a portfolio there, where people can see the way you teach and can see your methodology. Also, to build credibility, authority, and a reputation. Of course, I'm not saying that numbers mean everything. You need numbers to have authority. But imagine if 5,000 people follow a certain teacher, well, this teacher must be good, because, well, 5,000 people decided to follow him. So yes, it does help you build a reputation. To promote your services, of course, it can be your private lessons, group lessons, ebooks, courses, mentorship. It can be anything. Once you're online and you have an audience, you can promote your services and also to stand out amongst other teachers. When you're online, it's easier to show how good you are. And so it's easier for students to find you, and it's easier for you to get new students. Okay, this is the mindset. And here I have a question. It's a quick activity for you. I've asked my audience what was more important to them when they started following a new English page. What do you think? What do you think is the most important thing here? What do you think they answered? You can use the chat box. Content, everybody's saying content, teaching skills, charisma, content, teaching skills. Nobody's saying technical quality, pronunciation. Well, let's see the answer. So this is what they answered. The first thing, can you believe that charisma is right up there together with content? So of course you gotta have good content, you gotta share good content, quality content, but charisma is also equally important. People have to build rapport with you. They have to connect with you. And this is one of the most important things. And this really impressed me because I think, well, people must follow me because I have a PhD. Maybe it's because they trust what I share. Yes, it might be true, but maybe it's also because they like me as a person. So this is really important, building rapport. Then teaching skills, objectivity, format, good pronunciation, qualifications. You see it's at the bottom. Nobody cares if you have a PhD, actually. And then technical quality is the least important thing. So this made me think of the importance of this quote here. So the best teacher is not necessarily the one who knows the most, but the one who connects best with their students. Do you agree with me? So it doesn't matter if you know a lot. You have to connect with your students. You got to build rapport. You got to build a relationship with your student, right? Some people are agreeing here with me. So maybe my English is not the most perfect English, and maybe I'm not the best English speaker in the country, but maybe because the way I teach, I can connect with my students. So that's why they like my work and follow me. And now I'm going to share the 10 practical steps to stand out on social media. Who wants to stand out on social media? Let me know in the comments here if you want to stand out on social media. And also if you are already on social media, if you have an Instagram page or something like that. I'm going to give you my best, my best tips, okay? So the first one is obviously choosing your teaching niche. Choose your teaching niche. So you have to know what you're going to teach. So are you going to teach general English for beginners, for advanced learners? Are you going to teach business English, exam preparation? It's better when you focus on a specific type of audience. I don't know if you can hear my baby. She's crying, but she will definitely stop in a minute. So I chose to teach general English to beginners and intermediate students. Of course, I have some projects for advanced students as well, but as only 3% of the population in Brazil is fluent in English, I think I would have I mean, it was a natural process, but I definitely can reach more people if I focus on beginners or intermediate learners. Also, you have to know your teaching style. Are you a more serious person? Do you teach more academic content? Or do you like teaching with a sense of humor? Of course, you have to be yourself, but it's nice when you have this in mind before you start your page. The second step is choose your platform or your platforms. I am on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and yeah, I create content for these social media. I don't create content for Twitter or LinkedIn, but I'm there. But you have to choose which platform are you going to be on. So I started on YouTube, but I will have to be very honest with you. I think it's easier to grow on Instagram and TikTok nowadays because people really love short videos. So shorter videos are more popular now. So I definitely think starting something from scratch now is easier on Instagram because you have the hashtags, you can go live with other teachers. I think it's easier. But on YouTube, you can share longer content. I still love YouTube. It's my favorite platform. Somebody's saying that TikTok is the most popular platform in his country, in her country. Here, I mean, Brazil is a huge market, so many of these platforms are very popular here. Fourth step, plan your schedule. So how many videos or posts are you going to upload per week? 1, 2. So remember, constance is better than quantity. So if you decide to upload only 1 video a week, try to stick to this schedule. It's better than thinking, oh my God, I'm going to make content, share content every day. You're going to get tired and you are going to end up giving up. So when are you going to create this content? Between classes, on weekends. So you gotta, have an idea of how you are going to work and make this content, because at the beginning you're not getting any money. So you gotta find some time in your busy schedule to create this extra material to share on your social media. Number 5, be yourself. It might be, it might sound like a cliche, but you have to be yourself. So who are you as a teacher? Do you think you would like to share funny dialogues? Would you like to do TikTok dances, sharing tips and pointing at the tips? Well, it doesn't matter the style. You have to find your own style, okay? You have to do what makes you feel comfortable. So I like doing funny dialogues, for example, but I don't do TikTok dances because I'm a terrible dancer. I'd love to learn how to dance, but I would feel silly doing this. So I just don't do it. I don't feel comfortable doing this, and you don't need to, okay? And also don't be a robot, because sometimes we as teachers, we tend to want to be perfect. We tend to want to sound perfect, look perfect, and be very, very professional and very serious. But sometimes this ends up being a little bit boring. So some degree of vulnerability is super fine. When you say, well, I'm not sure about it, let me check it with you. Well, here's a new word I've learned, or, oh, this is a mistake that I used to make in the past. So people like it. People like seeing that you're a person, not just, a teacher or a machine that is sharing valuable content. But, well, you need to show yourself as a person. Remember, charisma is very important, but try to be yourself. Don't try to be someone you're not. Number 6, very, very important thing, be responsible. I don't know if you've seen videos with titles or thumbnails saying things like, stop saying how are you, because this is not common in the USA. This is not how native speakers speak. Don't say I'm fine, because nobody says I'm fine. This is incorrect English. Of course, there is right and wrong English, correct and incorrect English, but you got to be very careful when you prepare your content, because what may sound wrong in American English, for example, might be used in Irish English. And I have a real example from my experience. I have a video in which I'm teaching pronouns, and I say, well, you shouldn't say use. We don't put the plural form in you, because it's the same for singular and plural. So you say you guys, you all, you girls. Don't say use. And then I got lots of messages saying, well, but here in Ireland, believe it or not, people do use use. It is used. It does exist in the language. And I was like, oh my God. So you gotta be careful. You gotta choose the right word. So this is not common in standard American English, for example. This is grammatically incorrect, but it's still used. So you gotta know exactly the words that you're going to use. Also, some thumbnails saying, speak like a native. And many people would want to speak like a native, but I am an English teacher. I have a successful business as an English teacher, and I don't sound like a native. I sound like a Brazilian person speaking English. I think people should not use titles like this, because I think that it only makes students feel insecure, because they will never sound like a native. So it might be bad for the students. And also titles like From Zero to Fluency in 2 months, How I Became Fluent in English in 1 month. Well, of course, you would get lots of clicks, but this is not true. So you got to be responsible. And that's why you need to invest some time doing some research and writing a good script before you share your content. And be careful with the words you use. The 7th step is very important, because, many teachers create amazing content, but this content is not found by anyone. There's no views, there's no clicks. What's wrong with my content? Well, maybe it's because you haven't learned how to promote your content yet. So talking about YouTube, think of 3 specific things: title, thumbnail, and description. So these 3 things are extremely important. And I would say sometimes it's even more important than the content, because before you start developing your content, I would recommend you to think of a good title, and then you would create your content based on this title, because that's how your content will be found. So here I brought the first 3 videos that I have here are my videos. They are some of my most popular videos, and we can find some things in common here. So the first one is a list. People love lists. So it's 50 most used words in English. So first thing, it's for the general audience, people who don't know, people who are not fluent yet, basic level. So someone who's looking for the 50 most used words in English is like a basic student who wants to learn at least some English in 15 minutes. So there's a list, there's a number, people love numbers, and the title is good, and the thumbnail, there's my happy face there showing the lettering. The second video, I think it's popular because of its content. So it's English at the airport, airplane, and immigration. So many people search for this title, search for this information, because they're anxious before their trips. So the thumbnail is also nice, because I look like a flight attendant, and it says exactly what the video is about. The third video is British versus American English. The thumbnail is also very creative. So I'm representing American English. My friend is representing British English. We're like connected, hand in hand. And this is also a very popular title. People want to know the difference between British and American English. And the fourth video is my most recent video. You can see it has only 11,000 views, because I uploaded this video 4 days ago. And you see, 10 years later, I'm still doing the same. I'm using lists, and I'm using great lettering with my face in the thumbnail. So the title is 25 most used English idioms in English. And I put in 12 minutes because I think people would think, wow, I can learn 25 idioms in only 12 minutes. So I will click on this video. I can spend 12 minutes of my life learning something new. So you have to try to find ways to catch your audience's attention. So here I have another exercise for you. I have lots of examples of titles for a video that is teaching the verb to be. Okay, so you want to teach the verb to be. Which titles you think are good and which titles you think are bad? What is the best title for you here? You can use the chat box. Five tips to learn, best 5 tips. 5 tips, everybody's saying 5 tips. Probably because I mentioned the fact that people like lists. Well, here's the answer. All of these titles are good. So the first one is verb to be. This is exactly what you're teaching. So it's fine. It's a good title. 5 tips to learn a verb to be. Amazing, because people love lists. Everything about the verb to be, the person will say, oh my God, I'll learn everything about the verb to be in what, 12 minutes? Oh, I have to click on this video. Verb to be, common mistakes. People love, I mean, students love checking if they make mistakes in English. They are obsessed with their mistakes. So of course, you have this title and you tell your audience that making mistakes is fine and everything, but then you show some common mistakes while you teach. Bad titles are English Class 1, Carina Fragozo, or Teacher Carina Class 1. Why? Because this is not attractive and this is not searchable. Who is going to search for Carina Fragozo? If nobody knows you, why would people type your name? So you have to think what people would type when they want to learn something about the verb to be. And it might be silly. I mean, the examples might be silly, but many teachers do exactly this. They do it. They put English Class 1, Professor X, and nobody searches for it, and the title is not attractive at all. So try to write attractive titles. And now talking about Instagram Shorts and TikTok. As I said, people are really into short videos nowadays. And unfortunately, we only have 3 seconds to captivate the audience's attention. 3 seconds. Will, you want to say something?
Yep, just 5-minute warning, Carina, that's all.
Sorry?
Sorry, 5-minute warning.
Okay, thanks. I'm almost there.
Great.
So you have 3 seconds to captivate the audience. So I highly recommend you start your video with a question, for example, do you know how to pronounce this word? And then you show the word. Or would you like to test your English? Or I don't know, how do you say this in English? So this is how you usually start a video, because you have only 3 seconds. And also try to explore different formats if you are comfortable with it. Yeah, I'm very comfortable with nearly everything except dancing. But as you can see, I have lots of examples of formats that I've used. I'm always experimenting things. Some things do well, perform well, some things don't, but I will only know what performs well if I try different things. So just trying different formats. So this is maybe the most important piece of advice. Just start. Just start. I have lots of friends who will reach me and talk to me saying, well, Carina, I will start an Instagram page, but first I will buy a new cell phone. I will buy that microphone, and I need to have a makeover in my house, and I need to have a haircut. No, just start, because if you don't start, you will never know first if you like doing it, and you'll never get better. So just start, write your first script, and record your first video, or make your first post or a carousel, write your first post, whatever. And you'll probably not like it. And that's okay, because I hated my first video. But remember, the video is still there. 1 million people liked it. And nobody cares if I had the right camera or the right microphone, but it's still there because it was genuine, the content is valuable, and I decided to start. So just start. If you really hate your video, you delete the first one, and then you record the second one, and then you upload this video, because then you will see if you like doing it or not. Another very important thing, don't worry too much about numbers. So I started a presentation talking about millions of followers and everything. Of course, it's nice. Numbers are great, but you don't need to have 1 million followers to be successful. Numbers do not always mean sales. So what's your aim? What's your aim? Is your aim being famous, or is your aim selling courses, getting more private students, or sharing your ebooks, right? So I brought you the example of my sister. This is my sister. She's also an English teacher, and she's actually a little shy. So her content is, as you can see in the right, it's like written content. She doesn't even record videos, but she has 7,000 followers, and she has a link to her private lessons there. So people already know her, They already like her content, and then it's much easier for them to reach her to, you know, ask for private lessons. This is another example. This is one of my videos. I have links to my products, to my courses, to my free ebooks. They're everywhere. And I try to share the best free content I have, because people have to think, oh my God, if the free content is so good, so can you imagine how good her paid content is? So this is the mindset you have to, you know, keep in mind. Tip number 10, don't give up. Don't give up. Many people will start, you know, very, very excited, and then they would give up because, oh my God, I have only 200 followers, I don't have any likes, I don't have any comments. So remember, you have to be consistent and you have to stick to your goal. So if you want to share only one video a week, stick to the schedule, share one video a week. People will know that every Sunday you have a new post. Okay, so this is the most important thing. Interact with your audience, but don't go overboard. So you'll get DM messages, you will have some comments. Of course, interact with them, but you don't need to reply to all of them because you'll get crazy. You'll go crazy, sorry. Ask meaningful questions to engage your audience. So instead of saying, oh, like this video and leave a comment, you ask them a question. So have you ever thought about it before? Tell me about your weekend, because we're going to practice this structure. So ask meaningful questions, because then you will get engagement through meaningful interaction. Write creative captions. So when you share a video, you have to share you know, something creative as well. The written captions, you have to write creative captions. Interact with other accounts. So you can interact with other smaller accounts. You can go live with another teacher. You can do collab videos together. So this is an amazing way to learn, because teachers are not competitors. They are a community. Think of other teachers as part of a community that can grow together, okay? So this will make you feel more confident to go live together and do collabs. Stick to your goals. Remember, numbers don't always mean sales. So sometimes I upload a content, a video, for example, so I don't get that many likes or comments, but that video was important to show my audience something about my courses, for example. So this is very good. And most importantly, have fun. If you don't like the process, if you don't like what you're doing, there's something wrong. So you should try to do it in a different way. So this is my last, you won't imagine, my son is right here. He's looking at me and I'm trying to concentrate, looking at my 4-year-old son and try to pretend that everything's fine. But the world has changed, education has changed, and we have changed. So I think it's time to, I think we should try new things. So it might sound challenging for you, it might sound different, but why not? Why not creating content for a different audience? Why not trying different formats? Why not having fun creating something that you've never done before? So don't forget your mission. Remember, numbers do not mean everything. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Carina. Wow. What an absolute roller coaster. That was so interesting. Although it's the second time I've seen it, it's just still really, really interesting and fruitful. I think fruitful, is a good word to describe that. Just really full of insights into how you got to where you got to, which is really impressive. Can I just say, just so cool that you've done so well with English in Brazil. Just congrats, generally, just on that. So well done. Just brilliant.
Thank you very much.
But it's also really helpful. I think that those are 10 really helpful ideas for all the teachers here to get their teeth into social media if that's what they want to do. You've given them some really helpful ideas there. What does he want? Do you want to talk to your son about something? He can come on if he wants. Do you want to bring him on?
I don't think it's a good idea. Okay, let me show. Mateus, olha aqui, look.
What's his name?
Mateus.
Hello, Mateus. Hello, mate. Hey.
This is real life.
Alrighty, so thank you so much, Carina. I think we're going to move on from that, if that's okay. We've had a couple of questions, but I think we need to, actually, no, I'm going to ask you one. It's a bit of a quick fire question. What's your favorite platform?
YouTube, definitely, because on YouTube you can share longer videos, and you can and you have AdSense, right? It's good for us because you don't need to be selling all the time. But I have to mention that Instagram is better for sales. To sell my course, Instagram is better because you have the direct links. And and in your stories, you can build a stronger connection with your audience, because, you know, sometimes when I'm in my pajamas and I'm talking to my audience, and then I just share a link and they feel very close to me. So so
whereas YouTube, it's a bit of a further stretch, isn't it? They've got to watch your video, open up description, find the link, go to the link. It's a bit more complex. It's for a journey for them.
Exactly. Yeah. But I still love YouTube. 10 years there, right?
Yeah, me too. I love YouTube. But it's becoming a bit of a classic, isn't it? It's just been around for so long now. Anyway, thank you so much, Carina.
Exactly.
You've been amazing. We'll see you later for the last session.
Thank you very much. It was a big pleasure to be here with you guys.